Hey everybody, back on the channel. Been wanting to do this video. I was looking up a little bit about DNRS, and basically it's like cognitive retraining with MCS people. They use this to kind of retrain their brain around exposures, and basically how this works, I guess, is you're going into a frame of mind or a state of mind that, hey, this chemical or this exposure is not going to bother me or hurt me in any way. Now, I heard of DNRS early on the MCS website. Been familiar with it for over probably a year and a half. And I'd like to talk a little bit about it. I'm not calling bullcrap on it by no means, so I don't want to hurt nobody or offend nobody that's just helped. But I think it's two categories that we need to talk about. There's the category of people that it does help, and there's a category of people that it does not help. So let's talk about mast cell activation syndrome first. We know for a fact that mast cells can be set off by extreme stress. You're upset, you get in a hot bath, physical stress, psychological stress, etc. Now, some of the people, when they're around an exposure or they're around a substance that sets off their mast cells, they get upset or they get panicked. And I think that's the category of people that DNRS helps. And the reason why is because if you're around an exposure and you panic, it just kind of adds to the mast cell reaction. So people that sees benefit with DNRS are the people that panics around those exposures. Now, the reason DNRS doesn't help me is because I never really did have a panic. When I first got sick, I didn't know what was going on. See, even my base environment was bad. I was around cigarette smoke all day long, even though, my parents did go outside. So from work to home to the house I was remodeling, no matter what environment I was in a bad environment for my condition. So when my condition started, I had no way of pinpointing it. So I was coughing all day long, every day, and it just felt like my lungs was raw, and that's what I assumed it was. I figured, okay, well, the chemicals at work, it's made my lungs raw, so I never correlated it being bleach or deodorant or Gain or laundry detergent. I never had that correlation. It actually took me several months of eliminating things to figure out that the chemicals is actually making me sick. I'll give you an example. I moved out and I moved in with my grandmother, got a little bit better, and slowly, I noticed things. Okay, well, I changed laundry detergent, I coughed a little less. I changed, the dryer sheets, they got removed from the house. It got a little bit better. It was slow. The two earliest things I had was I was sensitive to bleach, I was sensitive to the cigarette smoke. That was the two earliest symptoms that I had of this. I spilled a little Tide in the floor at work, and I had to have a coworker help me clean it up. This was early on. So I thought my lungs is just real sensitive because they're irritated, but I didn't know that I actually had MCS. I didn't know what MCS was. So I never had a panic reaction. I still don't. I have an MCS friend, and I will go in things or around things and just showing the kind of reaction I have intentionally. So I never really panic I mean, yeah, I do have, you know, anxiety, you know, if I have a bunch of excessive exposures and, you know, that's out of my control, of course, you know, my heart rate's gonna go up, you know, I'm gonna get upset or I'm gonna get angry. You know, it's kind of like burning your hand over and over and over. Your nerves get tired. But some people, you know, they develop this panic type reaction, you know, because they've gotten so sick. So naturally, you know, it's, if a person burns their hand 1,000 times, you know, each time it's going to hurt a little bit more. You know, that's your, like your exposures. So after you, let's say you hit that point, you know, you break a point, you're going to panic. You know, you're gonna have adverse feelings or adverse emotions to it, because what you're around is hurting you. So with me, I've always been a pretty calm guy. You know, I worked in the ER, so I had people, you know, spitting on me, cussed at, just everything. You know, I put needles in people's arms. I've been a forklift driver. It was high stress because, you know, people constantly walking out in front of you. So pretty much every job I've had has been high stress. You know, it's with the forklift job, you know, people was constantly hollering on the radio, I need this, I need this, I need this right now. So I've always been conditioned mentally to handle high stress. So when I have an exposure, I don't have a panic. You know, I have the, you know, like the fast heart rate and stuff. You know, my body, you know, it's having a little anaphylaxis. You know, I get that. But back to my point of my video is DNRS basically trains you to be calm. And we know that in mast cell patients, if the less upset you get, whether you know it's happy or sad or whatever, the less likely you're gonna have a bad reaction. So I think that's why DNRS works in one category of people, and DNRS doesn't work in people like myself, because I don't panic. You know, I don't have that yet, and I hope that I don't. So I don't call BS on DNRS. If it's helped you, that's great. I just know that if I had ignored my symptoms and I kept going down the road that I was going down, you know, working in uranium or nickel, there was no way at all I could train my brain to block it out. You know, or I can't train my brain to for a Glade plug-in air freshener to, you know, for me not to react to it. It's just no way. But it is important to stay calm, and I hope this video kind of gives some clarity on DNRS. I'm going to do some more research, but if it helps you, it's great. If it don't, I can see why, because it didn't help me. But that's pretty well it. Y'all have a good night. Want to make this video. Bye.